So Prince Harry was back in the UK today, a very rare appearance for the Prince on our soil. Why? Well, he was at the Court of Appeal at the Royal Courts of Justice today. It's the end of a 5-year saga for him to try and get permanent and full security for himself and his family when he's in the UK. It got pared back a little bit, got toned down when he quit as a working member of the royal family 5 years ago in February 2020. Now, he still gets a little bit of it. He still gets it on a case-by-case basis, but he's arguing after a long, long battle in the court, now finally in the Court of Appeal, that it's not enough. That's not enough for him, and he needs more. So this is what I reported earlier today from outside the Royal Courts of Justice as Prince Harry made his appearance in the royal courts.
Now, the Duke of Sussex is at the Royal Courts of Justice in London, where his appeal against a High Court ruling on his UK security level, and frankly its funding, is underway.
Yes, Prince Harry, he's challenging a 2020 Home Office decision reducing his taxpayer-funded protection after he chose to step back as a full-time royal. I think this is pretty much last chance saloon for Prince Harry and this case.
Certainly is, but let's turn now to our man in the know, our royal expert. Outside the Royal Courts of Justice is our very own reporter Adam Cherry. Adam, what is going on today?
Yeah, thank you for that, Tom. Appreciate the promotion. I've been inside the Royal Court of Justice throughout the morning. The hearing began at about 10:30. At the moment, we're just hearing from Prince Harry's KC, his lawyer, his barrister, who is opening the remarks this morning. It's a 2-day hearing, so we'll be back here tomorrow. We won't hear a judgment ultimately tomorrow either. It's going to be a judgment in writing at a later stage. Prince Harry here, of course, he's just sitting at the back, kind of poker face. He's not really giving anything away at this stage, but say, we're still making the opening arguments. But as you said, Emily, this is really the end of a 5-year saga, and it began in February 2020 when, of course, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stood down as working members of the royal family. It went all the way to the High Court. His claim was dismissed in February 2024, so just over a year ago. And now the Court of Appeal has granted him his case, and that's why we're here today. So it's, as I say, it's a 2-day hearing. His KC is saying that he was given improper and unjustified and improper treatment, and that RAVEC, which is the Royal and VIP Executive Committee who made this decision to scale back his security, did so without conducting a proper risk assessment. So that's where we are at the moment. As I said, going to be here throughout the afternoon delivering the latest lines on this, so any more breaking developments, you'll be the first to hear them, guys.
Well, fantastic stuff. But Adam, before you go, I've got to ask, have you seen Prince Harry? You said he was sitting at the back of the courtroom. What was his demeanour as he approached? Because this is unusual, actually, the fact that he's actually turned up to London for this hearing today. I mean, we have seen various court hearings in the past where he hasn't turned up and has simply been represented by his lawyers.
This video is sponsored by Saily. Saily is a brand new eSIM service app. What it does is get you a local SIM card that you can use when you're traveling, so you don't have to pay those crazy roaming fees just to send a text back home. They've got eSIM plans in over 160 countries and 8 regions, so pretty much wherever you're going, they'll be able to make sure you're connected. So how does it work? Well, all you've got to do is hit our link in the description to download the app. It will work on iOS or Android. Buy a plan, you can choose the best time frame for you, and then just install the eSIM on your phone. When you land at your holiday destination, you can activate your plan instantly. Saily eSIMs only ever have to be installed once, so when you go on your next trip, you just buy a plan for a new country, turn that eSIM back on, and just like that, you could be watching the GB News YouTube channel. You can be connected anywhere you go, and you don't have to deal with patchy Wi-Fi in your hotels. So get sorted for your next trip by downloading Saily using the link in the description below, and if you use our code NEWS at checkout, you'll get an exclusive 15% discount on us.
Yeah, he's sitting in the back surrounded by his lawyers. He's not giving anything away. Totally deadpan, poker-faced. But as I said, they're still just outlining his defence. Maybe he'll get a little bit more animated once they start accusing him of things and start fighting back against his claim and his appeal. Like I said, we'll find out. Perhaps that'll be tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Much more to come on this, Tom. I know you're looking forward to hearing about it.
We are indeed. And Cherry, thank you very much indeed outside the Royal Courts of Justice for us as this legal saga continues. I do wonder, Tom, Prince Harry's so keen to have this really high security when he's in the UK, but what does he come to the UK for? He doesn't appear to have a relationship with his father anymore. He doesn't appear to have a relationship with his brother anymore, very sadly. His grandchildren have never even stepped foot in this country, as far as I know. Meghan doesn't seem particularly interested in this country. Indeed, she hates large parts of it, including asserting that perhaps there's quite a bit of racism in this country. So I'm just wondering why he's so keen to get this top security in this country. Is he planning many a visit in the future?
Well, the Invictus Games operates in this country, doesn't it?
But there'll be top security for that in and of itself, surely.
Today was day 1 of 2. We're going to be back outside the court tomorrow. By the way, it's worth saying, as I mentioned, I think in that clip, that the Prince was very quiet, occasionally talking to his lawyer, making some notes, but a complete poker face. I don't know if he plays poker, but he should. Didn't give anything away. So we're going to be back in court tomorrow when we'll hear from the KC representing the Home Office. They're going to argue against the claims made by Prince Harry's legal team today. Don't expect a judgment tomorrow. We're not getting that judgment for a while yet. That'll be in written form later on. But nonetheless, stick around tomorrow. We're going to be back in court to find out what the judges, or rather what the legal team has to say on behalf of the Home Office fighting against Prince Harry. Thanks for watching, and as always, subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. Very easy to find us, youtube.com/GB News for all the latest.
What horrific timing, Bev, just a couple of minutes really before we're expecting the King and Queen to arrive at the Quirinale Presidential Palace here in Rome. Prince Harry has arrived at the Royal Courts of Justice in London. This is really the last chance saloon for Prince Harry in his case against the Home Office. His security was downgraded when he stood back as a working royal back in 2020. He disagreed with that. He took the British government to court and of course lost that initial case. Now he's appealing it, and it appears that he wants to be there in person to look for judges, the High Court judges directly in the eye to plead his case. I mean, on the one hand, many people would probably point out that, well, if you feel so scared that your security is so bad in the UK, why have you come across here to argue your case about security? But on the other, he insists that he does not feel safe bringing his family to the United Kingdom, particularly his wife Meghan and his 2 children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. So, I mean, we'll just have to see what the courts say on that one. But of course, it is horrific timing because now this is completely overshadowing the state visit of the King and Queen in Italy. It's a ceremonial arrival. The shots you're hopefully seeing on your screen now of the Guard of Honour lined up of all 3 Italian forces, the Army, the Air Force and the Navy. You can just about see in the foreground there the President of Italy, President Mattarella, and his daughter Laura, and we're expecting a joint fly past as well between the British RAF Red Arrows and the Frecce Tricolori, which is the equivalent of Red Arrows here in Italy, flying over the palace. So it is the kind of symbolism of the joint military operations between the UK and Italy, but nonetheless, I think the King and his staff may be a little bit miffed that Prince Harry has decided to slightly upstage his father here.